Hello to all beer lovers and curious taste explorers out there. Welcome to our guide to the world of beer. Today we're diving into both beer types and fermentation processes. So, what's really the difference between an IPA and a lager? And what does top-fermented, bottom-fermented, and spontaneous fermentation mean? You'll soon find out. Grab a glass and let's get started. First up, IPA or India Pale Ale. This, my friends, is not your average brew. This is for those who like a little extra kick to their taste buds. A true IPA is like a slap from a hop vine in the best way possible. Aromas of citrus, tropical fruits, even a bit of pine forest. What gives an IPA this bold character? It's the top fermenting yeast. Imagine a party at the top of the fermentation tank. That's top fermenting yeast at work. It loves warmer temperatures, creating deep, fruity flavors and aromas. So, next time you're face to face with an IPA, remember, it's not just about the hops, it's about the yeast party creating a symphony of flavors that'll make your taste buds sing. Now we come to lager, the beer equivalent of a crisp white linen shirt on a sunny day. This, my friends, is the beverage of choice for those who like it clean, light, and refreshing. And no wonder, lager holds the crown as the world's most popular beer style. But what makes lager so darn drinkable? It's all about the cool, collected character it gets from bottom fermentation. You see, unlike those rambunctious top-fermenting yeasts, bottom-fermenting yeasts are more like the strong, silent type. They prefer to do their work at the bottom of the tank, slowly and steadily, at temperatures that would make a penguin feel right at home. We're talking 7 to 13 degrees Celsius. And here's the kicker. This slow and steady fermentation process isn't a matter of days, folks. It can take weeks, even months. But trust me, the wait is worth it. That's what gives lager that signature clear, refreshing taste. The kind of taste that just begs for a hot summer day, a plate of barbecue, and good company. Let's raise a glass to ale, the elder statesman of the beer world. This broad category encompasses a spectrum of flavors and styles, from light and citrusy pale ale to rich and malty brown ale, and even dark and mysterious stout. What unites all these beers under the ale banner? It's the way they're made. Ales are brewed with top-fermenting yeast, which loves to party at the top of the fermentation tank. They ferment at warmer temperatures, resulting in a quicker turnaround time and a bolder, more pronounced flavor profile. Esters, tiny flavor molecules, shine in ales. They're responsible for fruity notes, spicy undertones, and overall complexity that makes ales satisfying. Whether you're a seasoned beer aficionado or just starting to explore brews, there's an ale for you. So grab a bottle, pour a glass, and discover the rich history and diverse flavors of ale. Now let's talk Bock beer. This one's for those who like their beers with a bit more backbone, a bit more oomph, but without the hop-heavy punch of an IPA. Bock, you see, is a lager at heart, but it's a lager that's been to the gym, put on a bit of muscle, and developed a taste for the finer things in life. We're back in the realm of bottom fermentation here, folks. But Bock likes to take its sweet time, even more so than your average lager. It lingers in those cool temperatures, allowing those malty flavors to develop a depth and richness that's truly remarkable. The result? A beer that's smooth, malty, and just a touch sweet. Think of it like liquid caramel with a hint of toasty bread crust. It's the kind of beer that'll warm you up on a chilly evening and leave you feeling satisfied. Now let's talk about a beer style that's as refreshing as a summer breeze. Wheat beer. This one's for those who like their beers light, crisp, and often served in a tall, elegant glass. Now the name gives it away a bit, doesn't it? Wheat beer is made with, you guessed it, wheat. Specifically, at least 50% of the grain bill has to be wheat malt to earn the title. But what makes wheat beer truly special is the yeast. We're talking top-fermenting yeast here, folks. But not just any top-fermenting yeast. This yeast is a bit of a showman. It loves to strut its stuff, producing these unique flavors and aromas that are unmistakably wheat beer. Think about it. You take a sip, and suddenly you're transported to a field of ripe grain, the sun on your face, a gentle breeze carrying the scent of freshly baked bread. And then, just when you think you've got it figured out, a hint of banana peeks through, followed by a whisper of clove. That's the magic of wheat beer, my friends. It's a beer that's both familiar and surprising, refreshing and complex. Ah, Pilsner. The name just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? This, my friends, is a beer that needs no introduction. It's a legend, a classic, the gold standard of crisp, clean lagers. Now Pilsner might be a type of lager, but it's a lager with a swagger, a certain je ne sais quoi. It's got this pronounced hop aroma, a crispness that could cut glass, and a clean finish that leaves you wanting more. And how do they achieve this, you ask? Well, it all starts with the yeast, of course. Pilsner, like all good lagers, relies on bottom-fermenting yeast to work its magic. But it's not just about the yeast. Pilsner brewers are meticulous about their ingredients, using only the finest barley, hops, and water, and they're fanatical about temperature control, ensuring that the beer ferments slowly and evenly. But the real secret to Pilsner's crispness lies in the storage. After fermentation, Pilsner is stored for weeks, sometimes even months, at near freezing temperatures. This process, known as lagering, allows the flavors to mellow and harmonize, resulting in a beer that's both refreshing and complex. And now, my friends, we enter the realm of the dark side, the delicious, roasty, chocolatey dark side of stout. This, my friends, is not a beer for the faint of heart. This is a beer for those who like their flavors bold, their aromas intense, and their beers with a bit of a mysterious aura. Stout, like its lighter-hued cousin ale, is brewed with top-fermenting yeast, but that's where the similarities end. Stout is all about the malt, my friends. We're talking roasted barley, chocolate malt, even coffee beans in some cases. These ingredients are roasted to perfection, bringing out their rich, complex flavors and aromas. The result is a beer that's dark as night with a creamy, almost velvety texture. And the flavors? Oh, the flavors. Think dark chocolate, espresso, roasted nuts, maybe even a hint of caramel. It's like dessert in a glass, but with a bit more of a kick. So, if you're feeling adventurous, if you're ready to explore the bolder side of the beer world, then I urge you to give stout a try. Just be warned, once you go stout, you might never go back. And now, my fellow beer adventurers, we arrive at the final destination of our journey, the wild, unpredictable, and utterly unique world of Lambic. This, my friends, is not a beer for beginners. This is a beer for those who have tasted the rainbow of beer styles and are ready for something truly extraordinary. Lambic, you see, is not your average beer. It's a beer that's brewed by the whims of nature. Instead of adding carefully cultivated yeast strains, Lambic brewers let the beer ferment with wild yeasts and bacteria that are naturally present in the air. It's a process that's as unpredictable as the weather and just as magical. This spontaneous fermentation, as it's called, takes place in open vessels, allowing the beer to interact with the surrounding environment. And because these wild yeasts and bacteria work at their own pace, Lambic can take years, not months, to mature. The result is a beer that's unlike anything you've ever tasted before. Lambic is tart, funky, complex, and often quite sour. It's a beer that challenges your palate, makes you think, and leaves you wanting more. There you have it, a crash course in the world of beer from IPA to Lambic and everything in between. Whether you prefer a fruity IPA, a crisp lager, or a sour Lambic, there's a beer for every taste. So next time you're at the pub or the store, why not try something new? And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more flavorful videos. Thanks for watching, cheers, and goodbye.